Hello everyone and welcome to my tutorial. So we're going to start off with importing your sim from the gallery. You're going to want to make sure that the clothes and makeup have been done and saved before you exit to the main menu. You must have the Sims 4 Ripper. If you haven't, I've included a link in the description. We need to make a note of the slot reference from our saved game so that we can find it in the Ripper. Once you've done that, you can exit the game. Now in Ripper, choose Select. My reference ends in 11, so I need to find that. Don't click on the version 0 or version 1. Click on the one that just says .save. I'm going to use a random sim character from my game. Don Lothario, I think, is in all the games. So I can use the block up here to find him. I deselect elder, adult, teen, child, toddler, female, and animal. I'm going to find his name and then just click. It takes a little while, but we can see it's working. So here he is. He's a basic character. I expect your sim to be better dressed than this one, but he'll do for the tutorial. Now you need to choose solid and glass meshes and textures here. You can also change the outfit here if your saved sim is wearing a different outfit. And there are several other tweaks you can make. Completed. You need to save the file. So choose Save as DAE. I've created a file in Documents to put all my DAE in. Now that's done, let's go over to Blender. First off, let's highlight and delete these three objects. If we need them, we can add them back later. Go to File, select Import Collada, that's your DAE file. Go to where you saved your file. So I'll just find his name, Don, there. He looks grey right now, like a mold. So we need to add colour by clicking the shading box. Now he has his colour back, but it looks pretty flat compared to in the game. So we're going to enhance it, which is really important, especially if you have detailed CC that you want to show off. So let's click on him. Now we want to pull colour up to the specular. That's the colour up till you get to specular. Okay, then Shift A, we want to choose shader, mixed shader, and then we want to put this between the principled BSDF and the material output, like this. Now you want to drop the BSDF down to connect to the last shader, like that. And the alpha pulls over to the FAC. Then we need a slightly different one. So Shift A, and this time choose shader, and then transparent BSDF. Place this at the top. Take the BSDF and pull it to the first shader down here. This allows for more detail. Now we go over to the red ball and check the material's properties. We need to change the blend mode to alpha hashed, then the shadow mode to alpha hashed. Okay, so now he's looking great, like in the game. So let's go to the layout. He's grey again. This is the rendering screen. And this is the layout screen. I like this one whilst editing because you can see all the colours. This mode is what your animation will actually look like once rendered. It's dark right now, but we'll add lights soon. Okay, so let's save the file in my rigged folder and we'll call it done. Since we're in Blender, let's set up the interface we need. I think we're going to need 3 screens, a dope sheet window and a non-linear animation window, along with the layout window here. For Blender, it's a good idea to have your keyframe set at 1. You're able to change how long you want your animation to be. It will be originally set at 250, but I like to change mine to 2 to 3000 and then change it again when I have a better idea of how long my video needs to be. It's about 24 frames per second, so you can easily do the maths. Next we need animations, so you're going to need the Sims 4 Studio and Sims 4 Package Editor. In the editor, go to Open, find your file. My dance files are in my mods folder, so I'll pull that up. Here we can see the strings, the image the pack uses, but what we need is the clip. It then loads on the other side, so everything about the clip is found here along with the name. We also need the clip header. They tend to be next to each other and share the same instance number. Let's go to the resource, export, and we want to export to package, which means a dbpf package file, and save it to your desired folder. Okay, let's do this again, but this time we're using a package from the original game. Open File, click on the operating system, then Program Files times 86. We need Origin Game, and then the Sims 4. This brings up the different game packs you have. I'll choose one randomly. Let's go with EP05. And then I need to open Client Full Build 0 package. Again, what we need is the clips. Now I need something to put before my dance so I can show you how to add to your animation. I need something about 4 seconds long. Okay, this one. We then need the clip header. If, like me, you have yours in alphabetical order, as long as the clip is highlighted, you can just press the instance at the top here and it will change the order. Then again, resource, export to package and save. Okay, something to know is that Sims 4 Studios doesn't recognize or support blenders older than 2.76. So if, like me, you use the newest version, Studios will refuse to create Blender files, stating it can't find a Blender installation. To overcome this, I simply have 2 blenders, an old and the new one. Sim Studio then sees the installation and is happy to create the Blender file I need. I have added a link to the description. Click on My Projects and find the package file you just saved. Opening will bring you here, and seeing as this is non-dependent on sex, just click Export. Choose a folder, then save. We need to repeat this for our second package. Now we're back in Blender. Click on Rig. Click on the drop down of your dope sheet and change it to Action Editor. To create an action, go to the top of the dope sheet window and select New. You should now see an action timeline in the non-linear animation window. Next, go to File, Append, locate where you saved, These are animations we want the rig to perform. So these are actions. Choose actions and then click again to register it. We'll do this again for our other package. If we jump to add the non-linear animation for our first frames, it doesn't work. What we need to do is go back up to our dope sheet, click on actions, drop down and choose our first animation. This creates the NLA track required to place our animations on. So now, if I want something else on the track, I can simply just use the add button. If, for example, you needed two separate actions to happen at the same time, I would just go to the action editor screen and new action so that I have two separate lines. Now this is quite a long animation and my laptop isn't as fast as it could be, so I'm going to make this shorter to make the render easier. About 900 should be enough. So next, go to context, then you go to output and just choose where you want to save the final render file. Press accept once you've decided on the location. You can export images and then have Blender do a video for you. I don't need that. I choose the FFmpeg video option here. It's the most commonly used on other platforms. Then under encoding, change the container to an MPEG-4. I usually add audio separately, so I don't need this part, but if you do, it's pretty straightforward. Video codec I keep at H.264 as it's high quality, and the output quality I change to high. You can go higher, but this increases the file size, so for longer animations, output at high is perfectly fine. Then we choose the render details. I like to use the ambient. If I scroll up, you have the render engine set at EV, which is what I'll use. EV is really good quality and takes about 45 minutes for a 30-second clip. Cycles is the best, but takes a few days to render. Okay, so let's close that bit up a bit so we can see the layout screen clearly. What we're going to do now is set the render, and therefore first we're going to do the green screen. Okay, so let's go to the World Properties tab and choose the background color. You can choose from RGB or HSV tab. Either is fine, and we can choose a green suitable for our backdrop. Next, we want to move the lamp closer, so we click on it. The G on the keyboard allows us to move it to where we want it. If we want to change the type of light, click on the light icon. I've changed mine to sunlight. Now I'm going to add another light, so Shift A and add the light. And again, I'm going to hit G and move it to the other side of Don. You're going to want to play around with the lighting a bit, that's fine. I want the sunlight to hit Don directly, so I go to the Object Constraint Properties tab here, choose Track 2, setting the target as Rig, and then changing the bone to Spine 1. This highlights the scene the way I want it. Now Shift A and choose the camera. I want to record from this angle, so a good shortcut to turn this view into the camera view is by pressing Ctrl, Alt and the number pad 0. Click on the camera view and hit G to move the camera view up or down, and you can also click on the actual camera, hit G and move it around until you get the view you want. As an extra note, you can choose the type of camera view you have by clicking on the camera tab at the side. For this tutorial, I'm using the type perspective, but there's also orthographic, which allows you to zoom in and out without having to move the camera itself. Don't forget to save every now and again, so you don't lose your work. Test your position by starting the render. If you're not happy, just cancel the process and continue adjusting until you're happy. In order to get the camera view at any point, just hit 0 on your keypad. Okay, so let's open Lightworks. I've used this page before, so I'm going to delete the audio track that's still here. This is where you can also add extra video tracks. It usually starts with 1, we need 2. Now we need to import our files from our computer. So we go to the local file and find our render file. I saved mine as .vid, so I click and then hit import. We also need a background, so I'll just choose one I've used before and I'll import it. Okay, so now we have both. It's important that we place the background image first. So I'll drag it down and then my rendered video goes on top. I don't need the audio, so again I'll delete it. I want the length of my background track to match my vid, so I just drag it to its match. I can also zoom in to make sure the match is as precise as possible. Now the blend. Hit VFX at the top and then the plus sign on the left. First we choose DVE and select 2D DVE. You can then hit apply effect on the bottom or just drag the effect over to the vid track yourself. Then the plus sign again. This time choose key and the option green screen. Drag it across. So my green screen was quite dark, it seems. A lighter green would have had a better effect, but we can still work with this by manipulating the chrome key options on the left here. Play around with it until you're happy. You can also change the position and size of your character against the background. If you do this, you may need to adjust the contrast, luminance and gain to blend the pictures together, but that's fine and kind of fun. Back to the edit page and we export our video, giving it a name. Once completed, Lightworks will tell you where it saved it and how long it took to export. So that's it. Here's the final video. I hope this was useful. If it was, please like, subscribe with any comments on what else you'd like to see. Thanks.